Welcome to the Full Color Podcast, where we talk about the impact of your purpose and how your design and identity determines whether you are doing the right work or not. And so today we have an amazing guest, Bev Milam, who is a happiness consultant, and she is also a certified Gallup coach. She is a keynote speaker. She is an organization culture consultant, and we're going to talk about how purpose has impacted her life in the most magnificent way, not only with how she feels fulfilled and happy every single day, but how she is successful. And that is the power of purpose, which I think a lot of people feel like purpose is a very fluffy thing and it's separate to the work that we do, but actually purpose can impact the bottom line. And we're going to talk about how that applies to the man on the street who's kind of feeling like, maybe I haven't quite found my purpose. Maybe I'm feeling like I'm living life in grayscale and I need to find what it was that I'm supposed to be doing. This is definitely the podcast for you. So welcome, Bev, to the Full Color Podcast. It's really good to have you here today.
Thank you, Sabine. I am really excited to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So now tell us, what is your purpose?
Spreading happiness. I'm a happiness consultant, and nothing makes me happier than to share and spread happiness and making impacts through doing that. Yes, spreading happiness.
I love basically that. My purpose. And it's so simple. And this is what I love, is that a lot of people complicate their purpose, and it's got to be like something really convoluted. But actually, it's a really, really simple thing. And what we were saying before, as we were preparing for the podcast, is that sometimes your purpose is sitting right in front of you.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
And that's exactly what happened with you. So what I want to do in today's podcast is I want to hear your story about how you found your purpose and how it was sort of there all along, and then there was a moment where you suddenly realized, actually, this is how I need to anchor it. I'm actually a happiness consultant, and what that did, how it catapulted you into just applying yourself in so many different areas. Yes. And so what I want to just make as, just something for people to look forward to in this podcast is 4 real impacts that knowing your purpose has. So number 1, it helps you with easier decision making. Number 2, it helps you to attract the right people and opportunities into your realm, into your life. And number 3, it enables you to pivot, because life is so unpredictable. When pandemics happen, or wars happen, or retrenchments happen, or divorce happens, you don't know what's going to happen in your life. And then when you pivot, if you know your purpose, you are anchored in a very, very powerful thing, and it allows you to just shift in a different direction. And then finally, this is something that a lot of people want, is to be in flow. How do you find yourself in flow where you're not feeling like you're in this uphill battle and you wake up on Monday morning, or even worse, having the Sunday night blues and feeling like, I'm dreading tomorrow morning. What about feeling excited about what you're doing every single day? So Bev, how did you find your purpose?
Okay. No, exactly. I just want to go back to what you were just saying. There's nothing more draining than doing something that you really don't enjoy.
Yeah.
And when you feel that you are when you love what you do and you do what you love and you're in your purpose, then that's when the magic actually happens. So how did I find my purpose? Well, first of all, if I go right back, my first job was in finance, and I grew through a fantastic organization in South Africa from the age of 18. For 15 years, I worked for an organization, and I studied finance, and I started at the very bottom of that company as an accounts clerk, and they actually encouraged me to study. And yeah, I was an accountant and an internal auditor and all those things for like 12 years.
I cannot imagine that. I can't imagine you being an auditor.
Everybody says that, and then, things happen for a reason, and sometimes people see something in you that you don't even see yourself. And they were amazing, and they said, Bev, you should be in training. And I said, but I've studied finance, and this is my career, and so on. And they encouraged me to change from finance over into their training department. This is Avis Rent-A-Car, Avis Southern Africa.
Right.
And that's when I really found my passion, in training. And then in 1995, my husband and I moved to Dubai for his work purposes. And I carried on in the field of training there, and eventually worked for an organization that's a management consultancy. And I worked my way up in that company. I absolutely love training. I also became a motivational speaker and so on in Dubai, and worked my way up in this organization to eventually be the general manager of a training and team building company in Dubai called Biz Group. And while I was there, Dubai wanted to be the happiest city in the world. And I said, well, this is a great opportunity for us as a company. And I created a model called a happy and engaging place to work. And I started studying happiness, and I got, just sort of attracted, I don't know, it was me. I just absolutely loved it. So they called me the Chief Happiness Officer.
I love that. I love
my company. And I was doing happiness workshops and all in corporate and so on. And then during that time, I came home to South Africa to visit my mom. And my mom told me that there's a box of my old school books in her garage, and I should go through them and throw out what I don't want. So I'm going through these books in my mom's garage, sitting on the floor of my mom's garage, and I pull out this project that I did when I was 15 years old.
I still can't believe you've got this project.
I know, and I've still got this project, right? And I remember it was an English assignment. I went to Witbank High School, and it was an English assignment, and the teacher said that we should choose the topic, and we could do the project on anything that is important to us. I was 15 years old, 1977.
Yeah.
And so I chose the topic at the age of 15, and this is my project, and I chose happiness.
That is so good.
What
a legacy. You didn't even know you were creating a legacy back then.
I know. And the reason why I love sharing the story is that very often it's there in us from a young age, and it can just evolve from there. But you can just imagine. Now I'm sitting on the floor of my mom's garage, and I'm thinking I'm the Chief Happiness Officer of a fantastic organization in Dubai. I'm helping Dubai with their whole vision of becoming the happiest city in the world. And but when I left school, I went into finance for 12, 13 years. And I was good at it, and I was happy, but it wasn't my absolute purpose and passion.
Yes, so you knew that there was something else.
Yes, so sitting on the floor of my mom's garage with this project in my hand, I thought, whoa, it was such a defining moment. And I'm not saying everybody's finding their purpose is going to be such a defining moment, but I was blessed that it was. And I just there and then decided, this is my ikigai, the Japanese call it, your reason for being. This is why I've been put on this planet, is to spread happiness.
I want to just stop you there, because I think a lot of people, I would say the majority of people on this planet don't know why they've been put on this planet.
Yes.
They don't know what their purpose is, and it leaves a void.
Yes.
It's like there's this unfinished business that really feels like I'm going to get to the end of my life and not know what I'm going to do.
Yes.
And so you're really blessed to know what it is that you...
I know. And it only really hit home so clearly to me, and I was in my 50s, and yet it was always there. I was actually... spreading happiness anyway in the work that I was doing. But it's so much more exciting, and not only exciting, but it gives you more direction, and it makes it easier, as you said, to make decisions and so on when you are clear on what your purpose is.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I'm not going to now go and do things outside of that. For example, I could run a project management course on how to run projects or something, or time management or whatever. But that's not me spreading my happiness. So it gives me direction on making decisions.
Yes.
So once it was clear for me that this is who I am, this is my purpose, it just makes life so much more fulfilling.
Yeah.
And it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I want to ask you, just kind of talking about giving you direction and and really kind of anchoring you. Tell me about how it attracts the right kind of opportunities, because I know, like, in the short time that I've known you, you literally are like the law of attraction queen. You just manifest things your way and it just kind of falls in your lap. Like, is that, how does that happen?
Okay, that's not only about knowing your purpose, though. That's another podcast completely, because look, knowing your purpose obviously helps. Because then you're going to attract those sort of people into your life that you need, and so on and so forth. But the law of attraction and the fact that that you've seen me manifest so easily is positive. It's what you think about, you bring about. It's another whole thing. And I train this stuff. This is what it's all part of living a happy and fulfilling life. And you are the master of your own destiny. And what you decide is what you can actually manifest through hard work as well, but your belief system and everything needs to be aligned to that. So that's another whole subject. But I would like to touch on that and say that you must remember we were in Dubai for 25 years, okay, and we decided from 1995 to 2020, and we came back to South Africa, and we made the decision to come back to South Africa because we really wanted to, and I knew that there was a reason for me to come back to South Africa. With my spreading happiness and everything, I wanted to give back and so on. It was so in line with my purpose.
Yes.
We needed to come back anyway because my husband was retiring, but we could have gone to another country, but we chose to come back to South Africa. We then chose Ballito, which I am so glad that we did. And so many people, first of all, said to us, why the heck are you going back to South Africa after being away for 25 years? Number one. Number two, why are you choosing to stay in Ballito? Because you are going to be bored out of your mind there. There's going to be nothing for you to do, right? And also drop the happiness thing, because that's way too pink and fluffy for South Africa. So, and I thought, no, wait a minute, hey, remember my project? This is my purpose. I'm sure people in South Africa are also going to need a bit of happiness, and so I'm not going to deviate from that. It's my
well done for standing in that.
Yes, to standing in it and believing in it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we decided to come back to South Africa, and we decided to come to Ballito, even though people had said to us, tried to talk us out of it. And also my purpose, just drop the happiness thing. But as we said earlier, it just makes it so much easier to make certain decisions when you're very clear on your purpose. Now, in the beginning of 2020, when we came back, it was COVID, it was lockdown, it was, we knew one couple in Ballito who have now since then left. Other than that, we didn't really know anybody, and it was lockdown and so on. And you've also got to make the effort yourself and create, experiences for yourself. You were asking about how do you attract? That's the question, right? If I'm going to sit at home and wait for things to come to me, and I see a lot of that in people, that I've moved to Ballito and I can't make any friends, or I'm not enjoying it for whatever reason. But you've actually got to make the effort yourself. So anyway, I found in COVID, during lockdown, I found a hot meal initiative, and I'm still part of that. Chopping vegetables and so on every Wednesday in Umhlali. And I went along to this, and a lady came and stood next to me on about the second or third or fourth time that I was there, and she said, "Bev, what do you do?" And I started telling her about what I do. I said, "But I'm not doing anything yet in South Africa because we knew, and it's lockdown and so on." And then she said, "Oh my gosh, you need to meet my husband because he's trying to change the culture of his company." And I was like, whoa, and that's another thing, like Richard Branson said, early to bed, early to rise, work like heck, but advertise. You are the master of your own destiny. You need to speak about what you do, what your purpose is. Get excited about it. Tell people.
Yes.
So when this lady said, you need to meet my husband because he's trying to change the culture of his company, and he's using, then she said to me, he's using this book called Scaling Up by Vern Harnish. She didn't even know the author. She said Scaling Up. I said, oh my gosh, Scaling Up by Vern Harnish. That was like our Bible in around culture in Dubai. And I know it backwards. And I just thought, wow, how did she just come and chop vegetables right next to me now? You know, how did that happen? But, you know, during the time before that happened, it was lockdown, it was quiet. I was, you know, spending time rethinking about my vision, studying mind power, doing all sorts of things, laying the foundations there. And then you know, you put it out and you focus on these things, and then you go, but then you've also got to take the actions to actually make it happen. And that's how my life is. I promise you, Sabine, people say to me, Bev, you're so lucky, you know, you're born with a silver spoon in your hand or whatever. And I say, well, hello. I mean, you know, first of all, I work hard, but you've got to, you know, have the right mindset, and you've actually got to make things happen. But having that clear, defined purpose is absolutely crucial, right? So you also asked me the question about pivoting or
being able to pivot when you are anchored in one purpose, and not having to reinvent yourself if you've got a purpose.
100%. So coming back to South Africa, I felt as if I was stripped away from all those sort of titles and status and who I was in Dubai, and I had been there for a long time, and I'd created a career for myself. I was well known and so on and so forth, and now I'm a little nobody here back in South Africa in Belito, locked down. But it doesn't matter. I know that I'm going to make a difference somehow, whether it's even if it's chopping vegetables, I'm still spreading happiness, you know.
But I love actually, there is that moment where you went from having this career, having an identity and all of that stuff, to moving, and now suddenly you said I'm a nobody.
Yeah, I was.
Now, if you didn't have your purpose, you would have to figure out, how do I reinvent myself?
Yes.
But when you anchored in that purpose, now what did you do?
Yes, 100%. So that's why your purpose needs to be stripped back, and it needs to be quite wide.
Yes.
You know? For example, our organization in Dubai, which was phenomenal, it was just the culture was phenomenal. Our purpose in Dubai was enriching lives, you know. And we were a training and team building company, you know, and it was enriching lives. So, and I would say to the receptionists, for example, I love those ladies so much, I miss them, but I'd say, are you aligned with the purpose? Are you enriching lives? And they say, yes. Every single person that walks in the door into this company, we enrich their lives. So everybody feels part of the purpose, but it's quite a wide thing. Whether you are the receptionist in the company or whether you are running a team building or a training, you are enriching lives. Okay, so it's the same with your personal purpose, in that don't make it so detailed and so specific that you can't pivot or you can't deviate.
Well, I actually love what you said, because if you are rooted in your purpose, then you can align yourself, because you said the word alignment, you can then align yourself with companies. If you want to go get a job that makes you feel happy every day, fulfilled and successful, you want to align yourself with things that align with your purpose.
Absolutely.
Or your business needs to align with your purpose.
Absolutely.
And that helps you to be in flow, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, the alignment is so important, and for people, recruiting people into their company as well, to ensure that the people that you're recruiting are aligned with your values, your core identity, which is your core purpose and your values. And those are guiding principles for in an organization and in your own personal life. So I live by my values, I live by my purpose, and there's nothing better than to wake up in the morning and to know that I am making a difference because I'm living my purpose and by my values every single day, and you feel fulfilled at the end of the day because you feel as if you've made an impact and you've made a difference. And there are incredible careers out there which do exactly that. You know, if I think of teachers, I'm working very closely with schools at the moment, and wow, what an incredible purpose to have to make a difference in children's lives, for example, and so on.
Yeah, totally.
So, and it shouldn't be just a job.
Yeah.
You know, if it's just a job, then you shouldn't be a teacher, you know?
Absolutely.
And you come alive when you know what the purpose is.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
People need to be doing what makes them come alive.
Yes.
Otherwise, they live life in grayscale.
Yes.
And that's what this podcast and what I do, like why it exists, because it's helping people live life in full color so that they come alive in what they do. So just to kind of finish off today, and I just love what you've shared, I want to also just highlight the fact that knowing your purpose with that pivoting story is like you are anchored in one thing, and it's spreading happiness, and you contribute from a corporate level, being a keynote speaker, contributing in schools, changing culture in schools, in motivating teachers. You're even now involved in the community, and this is where I'm just like so excited. You know, you kind of look at some people and say, oh, they've all got it going. It's because you're anchored in one thing and you're just applying it in different areas. So I just want to give you an opportunity to tell us what you're doing here in Ballito and how it started with that toilet project and what actually happened just yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many projects that I've been involved in Ballito, and the person that said I'd be bored in Ballito, oh my gosh, you've got no idea. So first of all, I do travel around the country a lot doing my workshops in schools and corporate and so on. But here in Ballito, and as you said, Sabine, with my purpose being spreading happiness, it's not only through workshops and those sort of interventions, although I love doing that, but also in the community right here. And when we came back to South Africa, I said that I want to make a difference. I want to give back. I'm involved in, we started a creche called Happy Kids, and that's also absolutely brilliant. And so how can I spread happiness in our community right here? And then you know what really irritates me is when people complain, and then you on all these social media groups and so on and so forth, you see people. There's one called Speak Your Mind Ballito, which is fantastic, but people will complain on there. They will speak their mind. They'll say, have you seen the toilets on Willard's Beach? They are shocking, and but nobody does anything about it. And I thought, okay, well, this is also part of spreading happiness, right? Happy loos, you need to have...
I've never heard of a happy loo, a happy toilet.
Because people are unhappy when they go to the beach and, the toilets aren't clean. So we need happy loo. We need clean toilets for happy people. So anyway, I got involved with that, and this is the very first time that we've got what they call adopt a facility. It's a project with the community as well as the municipality, and it has been absolutely brilliant. We've done amazing artwork. My friend Corinne has done surfboards, and we've got these surfboards on the doors of the toilets, and we've turned those toilets around and uplifted them, and it's been an exciting project, and we've been working very closely with the municipality on that. And I want to take it a step further. I want Ballito to be known as the happiest town in South Africa, be it through the toilets or the creches or the chopping vegetables or whatever it is. And just when I walk on the promenade just about on a daily basis, I just love it, that the fact that people greet each other and smile. And I think it is a very happy town. I think we are so blessed. And in fact, I don't really want to tell too many people about it, because we're growing. Too many people are moving to Ballito.
Absolutely.
But it is like such a lovely little bubble, and it's a beautiful, beautiful community.
Yes.
And I'm just so grateful that Roger and I chose to come and live in Ballito. It's a beautiful community there, and the community are just so generous. Whenever you put, for example, the Happy Kids or the Happy Loos or whatever, and you start a group and you put it out to the community, everybody wants to contribute. Everybody wants to do something. Everybody wants to get involved. And I just find the community not only a friendly one, but also a giving one. And the people here are just incredible. And, we've got... Another project another initiative that I'm involved in is the North Coast Coffee Club, and it's brought so many people together and helping. It's a networking, business networking community group, and it's grown, and it's just gone from strength to strength. But it's more than growing people's businesses. It's also about making impacts in the community. And I've just found the people to be absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely amazing.
I love that. I love that. That's about all the time we've got for today. But I love what you've shared, and I love that you are in flow. I know you're really busy, but all of the things that you do are rooted in the one thing, and that is to spread happiness. It is all about your purpose, and it allows you to be successful, attract the right people, pivot if you need to,
yes.
and impact business and culture and community and individuals and corporates. I mean, it is pretty phenomenal what you can do.
Yes.
And it allows you to really, like, you are the poster child for living life in full color. It really is pretty amazing. So I just wanted to say, like, if you are feeling like maybe you're not living life in full color, maybe you don't have your purpose, you're not really sure what your purpose is, you can head to livelifeinfullcolor.com. Check out what we're doing there. You can go through the program that we have called Discovering You, and it allows you to look at all 5 elements that you have got: your passions, your skills and experience, your natural gifts, your values, like what Bev was talking about, and then figure out what the unique mission is that you should be on, so that you can apply it to the perfect job or the perfect business. If you're trying to figure out, like, I need to pivot, I need to reinvent myself, I don't know where I should be going, what direction I should be going in, then definitely go and check out livelifeinfullcolor.com, and maybe you'll be able to be as powerful and impactful and successful as Bev. Thanks for watching today, Bev. Thank you so much for being with us. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And I love this Live Life in Full Color.